in my mind, when we kept talking about DJ Humphries coming in, I was hoping that we didn't put him in too early to compromise what he could probably do for us later. And that's what I didn't want to happen. So, I'm hearing that maybe a strain, hamstring possibly. Um, we'll see. But hey, you get what you ask for. And so now we have to rely on Wanye. Wanye's got to be able to get his game up. So, and Pat and those guys trust him. They trust him.
Before the injury of Humphries, just kind of rocky. It was a rocky game for me. Obviously, being three guys have played since New Year's last year. He's coming back to this game. You're going against Khalil Mack. You're going against Bosa. You're going against Bud Dupree. You're going against some pretty hefty dudes on the other side of the ball.
Terrible first game.
First rough test to start off.
Probably one of the worst first games you can have.
Oh yeah, you're not kind of easing back into swing of things. You're going right to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about top pass rushers in the league, without a doubt.
That's like going right to the boss of the level and like not playing any of the, not beating up the henchman for the first 45 minutes of the game. It's like that's facing the dude right at the start. Like you pick up the controller and boom, you got him.
Yeah, it's like what's that? Knockout and going straight to Mike Tyson.
Yeah, you got to warm up.
You don't even fight. Yeah, you don't even fight Glass Joe and all those guys. Yeah. So,
what did you make of his play up until the hamstring injury? And just based on what you saw, the body language, it looked like he was pretty winded and gassed throughout the game. It did seem like you kind of mentioned there. It did seem like we kind of rushed him along to this, and maybe we brought him maybe a week earlier than we should have. Maybe.
Well, I said ACL. ACL is one of those things that you still got to get conditioning about, and so. If you're not playing football, you got to play football to be in football condition. It's just you can't get past it. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can wish you could get on the treadmill, you can do as many push-ups and sit-ups you want to do and run in place and jump rope, but only football can get you in football condition. And that's guys hitting you getting in your kick step as many times as as you did. 10 times in practice or 20, that's one thing. When you get in the game, it's like, oh my gosh. Now I got to block this guy now and get back in the huddle. There's no breaks coming out. You just don't do a quick little series. This is the real deal. And we know he's a capable guy, but yeah, this is a guy that hadn't been in training camp. And so he just had to get into that type of shape. His body has to get into that type of shape. Look, I've said this, okay, as a former player, my mind wants me to do a whole lot of different things, Marcus and Teja, okay? My mind says that, right? But my body says otherwise. It's like, hey, I know you figured you might be one of the baddest dudes on the planet in your own head, okay? But JD, hey, we done worked that back out. We done worked them knees out. We done worked them shoulders out, collarbone, wrist. We done worked all those different things out, brother. So you're going to have to take it easy a little bit. So that's just what it is.
For a normal not player's version of that, when you haven't played, for everyone out there listening, when you haven't played basketball in a long time and you pick up the basketball and you try to do some of those things that you used to be able to do when you were playing every day, that ball, your hand's one place, the ball is the other place. You go to pull it in, and the ball's just not there. It's all, you're all over the place. It's just something as small and simple as that. Imagine being away from football for all that time and then doing that, man. I mean, there was one play where he got thrown back, and it was like, man. And I saw him soon after that, and he was huffing and puffing, he was sucking wind, dude. I actually thought when he first got injured, he was just getting a break. He was like, "Oh, my back, my knee, my neck, and my back." I thought he was doing one of those.
Let me just lay down here for a second, okay?
Yeah, I really thought he was just trying to get a breather. Yeah. But it sucks. That's more than that.
Yeah. So
when a guy's clearly, and I'm seeing people in the chat here, just talk about not running the ball, the lack of the because second half we talked about there was a little bit more balance. first half, when you see clearly that, DJ's, he's not, we brought him back maybe a little too early, and we're dropping back 20-something times in the first half of the game. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not helping an O-line that's hurting by not running the ball. Second half, they did a little bit more, a better job of being balanced with it. But like, why, JD, why aren't we? I mean, it's just simply, why aren't we running the ball? I mean, what is it?
Oh man, I mean, I wish I knew. I mean, I guess it's just that's our MO. We that's what we do. We pass the ball down the field. We got very talented receivers. Okay, that's another thing. And so you're trying to get the timing down. You're trying to make it look like you want it to look. The finished product, you keep working on those things, right? Because it's going to take that. It's going to take it in the playoffs, throw the football down the field. You got to push it down the field. But when you got Hunt, Pacheco, those guys, come on. Like, give them what they want, man. Give them what they want. It'll make it easier on a guy like DJ Humphries. He would thank you for it. Any lineman would thank you for it. Like, oh, thank you. Oh, you running power? Cool. Counter? Yes. Zone? Absolutely. I'm here for it all. And so I guess in the grand scheme of things, you're getting guys ready. Same thing like conditioning. You get them conditioned for what you probably had to see during the playoffs. Okay. And you got to just be ready, and you got to be just prepared. But for the life of me, you know how I feel. Look, run the daggone football. Run the football. So, yeah, I don't know. So,
also, man, you got to hold that ball less than that. That is not doing them. One of those sacks that we had in the first half was on Patrick. He actually had a decent pocket developing. He kind of stepped up early, and Bosa kind of funneled to the front. It looked like he just ran right into him. So when you have a brand new lineman, you could see he's sucking wind in that huddle. You got to start calling plays, and you got to start getting that ball out there faster. They did it in the second half, but I just believe it took a little too long to adjust to that, and the more balance too. It's great that it was a 15-12 ratio in the second half, but just what's taking so long for some of these things to click? Again, we won, and I'm happy about that. But I just want to be better. That's all. It's not a problem.
Yeah. No.
We should be better.
Should be. And also too, you got to realize, for a guy that's his first game back, like, everything that's going through his head, I mean, he's just anxious, just wanting to get out there. How am I going to do? Right?
Yes.
I mean, just the pressure of that in itself, just the mental strain that lays on a guy. But and we could, like you said, we could talk about these things. We want them to get better. And what I do believe, and I do trust, is any of those guys, they have a formula about what they want to do. They know what they want to do. Okay. And we could question it all we want to, but you know what? These jokers are sitting on 3 trophies right now, been to 4, and looking for another one this year. And so for them, there is is it a method to the madness? Sure. I'm sure it is. So they know that. They talked among themselves. It's not something that they figured out, like, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to run the ball more. They like, no, we going in clearly about what it is that we want to do all through the game. And so that's the only thing I can say about it. That's it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it does seem like they're trying to establish some kind of a passing, kind of a chemistry with the D-Hop, who's new, Worthy. They Mahomes haven't really, got that to that level yet. I mean, this is something that happened at the end of the last game, which we kind of questioned on the show last week. 3rd and 2, we're throwing a bomb to Xavier Worthy. 3rd and 2, we're throwing a bomb to DeAndre Hopkins, which was, I mean, yeah, I thought that maybe one of the worst play calls of the day, that bomb to DeAndre Hopkins from that 3rd and 2 play. I mean, like, again, guys, I mean, I know easier said than done to run the football, but 3rd and 2 bomb.
And Brennan made a comment just now about we have zero identity other than being back-to-back champs. I think our identity, honestly, is keep the game close, and we're good in fourth quarter wins. Like, let keep the game close. That's what we're comfortable in. Patrick will pull a rabbit out of his hat in the fourth quarter.
Oh no. I would say this. I remember a guy saying something like that. And I thought it was one of the craziest things ever to hear, Tage. Seriously.
I don't like it.
No. I don't like it. My thing is, but this, I'll tell you who it was. It was a defensive coach. Okay, there was a head coach. It was Herm Edwards. Herm felt that way. He felt whoever had the ball at the end was going to win the game. That's how it went, and that's how he wanted to play. But to me, it was like the crazy part was he came to the offense room and he said, "Y'all guys score too many points and y'all score too fast. And when y'all do that, our defense can't rest, and they get burnt out." And I remember looking at Gonzalez. Me and Gonzalez are sitting next to each other. I looked at him, I'm like, did I just hear what he said, that we scored too many points? Like, we're all here to do a job, right? This, so, but that was his philosophy. I mean, that's how he felt at a certain point. The team that had the ball at the end should win the game. That's what he wants to do. I kind of find it hard to believe that Andy, conspires to something like that. I just, especially an offensive-minded guy like him. To me, Andy and those guys want to put points up on the board.
I think they'd like to.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
and is it just because things are not clicking, or their tempo is off, or it doesn't look like the way they want it to? And they're like, oh man, let's throw this out. It don't look good. And then you have a good series like, yeah, ball at your hand fast, looks great. Getting in and out of the huddle, getting up, throw the ball to the refs, let's go again. And then all of a sudden it's like, what do we do? So, but
it's been a few times this year where we've made in-game adjustments where we do go this high up tempo offense and we look good. We click. I think it was the Tampa Bay game, at the end of that game, where that was that quick, high up tempo offense, and then we see it in spurts. We see it today for a little bit, and they go back to the lulls, and it's like, why can't we just keep that up all game? It just seems we kind of go away from that, and it's like, it also stems from having a little bit of a balance too. I will say one thing I did like today, just because it was the first game where Pacheco was back fully, right? Last week was his first game back, but you can see he's more acclimated, he's more ready to go. I did like something I wanted us to do was the way Detroit goes one drive Demont, one drive Gibbs, one drive Demont, one drive Gibbs. It seems like that's what they were doing today, and obviously spelling in a little Samaje Perine, who looked phenomenal today. But I did like the one drive Hunt, one drive Pacheco, one drive Hunt, and obviously Perine was our third down back on for either one of those guys on either drives. I like that rotation. I like a little more if we run the ball with those guys.
If you're running it, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Well, even Collinsworth talked as if we didn't have Pacheco. I was like, well, we have Pacheco. He was like, this is what it seems they're missing this without Pacheco. It's like, well, he's back. We're still not doing it. So do it more, right? I mean, and Humphries is one thing, but Pacheco looks ready to go. Like, we kept him on that practice window a good amount of time. Like, he's ready, That's someone you guys need to unleash.
Yeah. I guess they pretty much telling us patience,
Yeah.
Padawan, patience, Padawan. Just believe me, we know what we're doing. And so I want to believe that more than anything else. Like, these guys got a game plan as how they want to execute and what they want to do. But it's for us just watching it. Oh, it's maddening. Oh, like, what the heck? What in the heck? But you know what, though? I will say this. Having that ability to be able to do, like, those spurts where you're in and out the huddle all the time and you got the up-tempo and it looks great, we can do it anytime we want to, it seems like. Why don't we just do it the entire game, right? And maybe it is part of, like, let's try something else a little different, right? We know we can get up tempo, and Pat does a little thing. Come here, like, come on, give me another one. Let's go with this. And guys are ready. So I do love that we have that about us, okay? Because that's very scary. It's very scary.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.